I'm telling them that I can't breathe. Clearly he don't give a damn about my plea. His ancestors used to hang us on trees. Today they identify as road police. You see I'm black, for that I'm a threat to America. My rise is their fall and their fall is evident. Blood on your hands is heavier than an elephant. Open up America and see skeleton.
Thank you for joining me. This is Reignite Sandy Speaks, and I'm the 20th key. And today we're going to talk about the family court stealing little black babies and bring awareness to what's going on in the family court. I'm hesitant on how to start this because I'm going to talk about Shaefer Mercado. Y'all know I butcher up names. But Shaefer Mercado is a previous American Idol contestant who had her babies taken from her. She's a black woman who had her children taken from her, and I want to talk about that today. But I want to highlight the corruption that goes on in the family court. If you're familiar with this channel and who I am, I'm a victim of racial injustice at the hands of the family court system. And when this occurred, when I learned more about Shaefer Mercado having her baby taken from her, it kind of began something and ignited something in me, because this channel is focusing on the family court in America. And this happening to this young lady just demonstrates my position that black people are not receiving justice in the family court. And I want to say this is important, and I probably should have looked this up. I meant to Google this, but just not only black people, just people in general. You guys, Google it, you guys. Maybe I'll Google it and I'll put the data below. But what percentage of the population is affected by the family court? I knew that I read it somewhere, and I don't know if it was accurate, but we can imagine that a large part of the population at some point in their lives are affected or go through the family court in America. And what's happening and what's being highlighted is that Department of Social Services is the culprit in the issue of Shaefer Mercado having her babies taken from her. But ultimately, as I always tell you guys, we in charge, the judicial system, the judges, to make the final ruling, okay? And so I kind of want to begin with that and say that I want you guys to we're going to talk about what happened to her, but I want you guys to know that ultimately it's the judge. And one of the reasons why they're reluctant to point the finger at the judge, because they're afraid of the judge. I'm homeless and they stole my house. They did all kinds of things to me because I called out the judge, okay? So we're going to talk about it, but I need you guys' help in trying to create change for black people. And my solution, one of my major solutions, is to look at the judicial system. And we keep talking about the racial injustice. We're in bondage, and it's time for us to be free. And I have a plan, and so I don't want to get on my tangent about that, but I have a plan. And I'm not making these videos to sensationalize the pain of black people. I have a goal. I have an agenda, okay? And documenting what they do and how we are victimized is is part of my strategy for us finally being liberated. So you guys know about Shaefer Mercado, this beautiful black girl. What happened, okay, so let me talk about it really quickly, if you don't know, to update you on it. She took her son, AmenRA, to the hospital because he was having some issues. Okay, so let's say she had her children taken from her. Okay, AmenRA was taken from her. Now this is a loving parent who is not neglectful, who is seeing that her child is having issues, so she takes her child to the hospital. And so let me say, what happened? She became So what happened with Shaefer Mercado? She took AmenRA to the hospital because he was having issues. And I want to highlight this because this is very important, okay? She had problems weaning him off of breast milk. She was pregnant, and so her breast milk was drying up. So she had issues with breastfeeding him. So he displayed signs of like malnutrition, or maybe he was I should say it accurately. What is it? I think they said he was dehydrated and he had issues with malnutrition to some degree. And so on the surface, that sounds really very detrimental. But women, moms, we know our children go through things, okay? And the issue here is she got pregnant while she was breastfeeding one child. She had kids back to back. My mother actually had me and my brother back to back. And other parents out there who had their children back to back, you know, you have certain events that occur because of instances when you have your child back to back. And specifically, she was breastfeeding. She was breastfeeding and she was trying to wean AmenRA off of breast milk, and he was reluctant. She had issues with it. And I kind of want to talk about my own personal experience, but if you breastfeed, if you're a mom, you know, as moms, you have challenges just being a mom if you're doing formula or whatever. Okay, so she took AmenRA to the hospital, and he displayed signs of dehydration and some other issue, I think malnutrition. Okay, so when we say that, first of all, you guys, when we say that, to what degree? Okay, and that's really very vital. All right, you can have a degree to where you're slightly dehydrated or extremely dehydrated, right? Same thing with malnutrition, is measured on a scale. Okay, so I'm saying that because I'm saying that Black people are victimized, discriminated against, and maligned, framed in almost every industry in America. Okay, and this video specifically is going to highlight the corruption in the family court and how Black children are victims of this racket. It's corruption. I haven't got to there, but I'm going to get there. But this is a racket, okay? This is just a hustle. I was married to a person, an executive of an agency like the agency that houses babies when they're taken, okay? I was married to a person who that was his job and the entirety of our marriage. That's one of the reasons why the family court maligned me, because I was married to someone who had ties to the judge, to the different agencies, to the what is it, guardian ad litem. There's different departments in the family court system, and just like any other court system, any other industry, there's room for corruption. And Black people, we're going to take time and we're going to put the spotlight on the family court and Reignite Sandy Speaks. I decided on doing that, even on my own case as a family court. And one of the things that actually propelled my efforts is my concerns about Black children, because these family court judges are the ones who are dictating, in many instances, the treatment and the futures of these little Black boys and girls. Okay, so going back to Saisha Mercado, taking her daughter, her AmenRA to the hospital and talking about his illness. So, you guys, she had a challenge with him, saying he was malnutrition and dehydrated. I'm a mom, and I do get a little alarmed myself. But what I want to highlight to you is that when you raise your children, you have challenges, you have issues, and you remedy the issues. You don't take someone's baby from them. I'm going to tell you exactly what happened. They wanted to give this little boy a B12 shot. Probably what happened, because Saisha Mercado she's conscious. You can look at her and her husband, and they live a conscious lifestyle. So that means they're present and aware. And because of how her and her husband look visually, they're Black people. They're very natural Black people. To me, they are the epitome of Black, because they're natural in every aspect of their appearance and their lifestyle. And so ultimately, they're deviants to American culture. American culture is the WSCC, right? So when you have people who will look different, think different, it's conceivable they're going to have issues. And what I suspect happened is that she kind of questioned the B12 shot because they want to give him a B12 shot. Let me tell you, myself, if that would happen to me, and I'm a mess when it comes to my children, I'm going to tell you all the stuff I took my kids to the hospital for. I'm a mess, okay? But if the doctor would have said to me, my child needed a B12 shot, first of all, it all depends on the rapport I've developed with the nurse and the staff in the hospital as to how confident I am in what they're saying, and the information that they're giving me. Okay, giving a shot doesn't seem too detrimental, but the fact that Saisha questioned a B12 shot tells you that she is a conscious and aware parent. Okay, and so what I'm thinking, well, I'm just gonna say, I would have probably said, well, let us think about it. I probably would have Googled it and read before they came and gave my baby a shot. I would have looked on my phone and looked it up and Googled it and said, well, I would ask questions. Okay. I guaranteed you, when she asked questions, just based on her appearance, they tried to frame this girl as a difficult black person or an angry black person. Okay? And then we look at her husband. Okay, guys, I kind of want to highlight the fact that these are black people, and these are very natural black people. I want to say this, and it's important that I communicate this to you. This is Saisha and her husband. I think his name is Tyron. And black men are on attack in America. Okay? What America does to black men is they attempt to emasculate and take the power from black men. If you agree or you disagree, you can leave a comment, you can say what you feel, but it is my belief that black men are demeaned. Black people are demeaned, but I think specifically that there is a WSCC culture that tries to emasculate black men. And I want to highlight this because this is a woman, as a mom, we all are like have our hearts out to her. We've seen her cry. We see her say, like, why are you really doing this to me? This is Saisha Mercado, who was on American Idol, who did a lot of things for her city as being a personality or a celebrity. She did positive things. And this is what's upsetting. The Department of Social Services took a child. A court system allowed for the child to remain out of the home of a black mom, good mom, a conscious mom, who shows to be conscientious and just an overall good human being and citizen, okay? Then we look at her husband, Tyron. This is what's upsetting to me because I am very uncomfortable with how black men are emasculated, okay? We see this black man, and I'm going to say this because this is important to me. This is his appearance is that of a natural black man. He has dreadlocks. His skin is relatively dark. His features are that of African descent. Saisha, you did that. That is a beautiful black man. Okay? When I see him, I think, oh God, what a beautiful black man. But when the other people, non-black people, or people who subscribe to the WSCC, I think it's very common to challenge black men and try to emasculate him. Okay? What I love about this man, and I'm sorry this happened to you, sister, Saisha Mercado. When this ends, I hope this propels you to be involved, to also to help others in your... Is this really happening right now? Okay, so you guys, what I want to establish is that AmenRA was taken from this woman because she's black and she has a black husband. What I'm establishing is that the family court in America abuses, oppresses, and demeans, belittles, and violates black people every single day. I'm going to edit in a video of a woman. Her name is Nancy Shaefer. She was a whistleblower that blew the whistle on the, I think it's Child Protective Services in America. This is a racket. As I told you before, you guys, the person I was married to he started off being a therapist, a clinician. He worked his way up to a director, he became an executive. Okay, this is one of the reasons why I'm in a hotel and I'm homeless, because the person I was married to has ties to the family court. And this is one of the things that he and I disagreed on, is the care of these children in the foster care, in probation. This is the person I was married to. That's why I'm in. This has happened to me, and he had the ability to really malign me. It's because I'm just like with Aisha Mercado. It's because I'm black, and they think it's okay to do this to us. And one of the reasons why this is done to black people so easily, because we have not created the right mechanism or the ability to fight off these occurrences when they happen. Okay, we know about Saisha Mercado, but how many other black children we do not know about that they've taken from them out of the hospital? And so again, I'm going to end up editing a video. It is a whistleblower. Her name is Nancy Shaefer. I'll add that in. I'm so sorry, guys. I'll add that in later on in the video.
Yeah, we're currently detained by Manatee County Sheriff's Department.
I already called Franklin. We're currently surrounded by sheriff. He's sitting on the corner of Blackwood Bridge.
We're surrounded right now by Manatee County Sheriff's Department, and that's our current situation.
It is me. It is.
And they are wanting us to turn over our newborn.
They all have all of our IDs. We're sitting here and more coming.
I know we fighting to bring Ra home. Now they're wanting to take our newborn.
They had somebody staked out to follow us out, and once we got to the light, to turn to head to the courthouse. And we pulled over.
Do you have children? Would you just... There's no point.
They're not listening. There's no point.
They don't. So wrong, Sarah. How could
You don't
guys
feel
do
nothing?
this? Do you not feel anything?
Let's put the baby in the
You guys,
crib.
I'm human. This is
I
my baby.
understand
My
that.
baby is days old. And you're taking my baby away from me. You're taking my baby away from me. You have no heart. This is so wrong.
Just give her a second. Can you give her a second?
Don't make it seem like I'm
it's
crazy,
not.
okay?
Yeah, we suppose this is normal.
I
This is
know you
innocent.
have children.
Sarah.
This is my baby.
You may not have babies, but
I carried my baby for 9
This
months.
this is normal.
You don't care.
Yes, I do. Put the police.
You don't care.
Which,
Would you like to put the
You
baby
could
in the
have
car
talked.
seat?
No, I don't. I want my baby.
We have to put the baby.
My baby is healthy and happy.
Okay, put the
My baby is breastfeeding from me. What are you gonna give my baby?
Please put the baby in the car seat.
can you just give her a second? We gonna cooperate, but don't be a human before anything. We know you're doing your job, but you have some empathy.
Oh my God.
Y'all done took our son. Now you taking our daughter.
Please put the baby.
You understand that, right?
Please put the baby in the
It'd be something wrong with us if we didn't respond.
Oh, baby. Oh my God. I have to hold it together, right? I'll hold it together. I'm strong.
Y'all know what y'all doing wrong. It's your job, but it's still wrong morally and ethically. That's our attorney. Ma'am, that's our attorney.
You're traumatizing my baby. My baby's gonna cry. I don't even want my baby
You have
out
the
like
bag?
this.
I do.
Can I see it, the pacifier?
All you had to do was call the attorney. We have all the paperwork. You guys have created so much trauma. You just expect me to just come outside and be like, hi guys, you're my friends.
Have y'all
You're not my friends.
Have you all put this much energy into a family that has no
This is
criminal background?
unnecessary.
Is she in?
You know how much I've done for this county. I have the key to this city. I have the key to this city and Sarasota. I've done nothing but help this county. Manatee Sheriff County Office. I did an anti-bullying program for you guys.
Here.
You guys, can I sit with my baby and go with you?
No, ma'am.
I'm not a danger. I'm not a danger to my baby. You're so wrong. You're so wrong.
David, just call me when you guys are done at the hospital and I'll let you know about
The blanket.
Okay, so what we are establishing is that Saisha and Tyron had their children taken from them because they're black people. Not because they're neglectful, not because their children are in danger. This is happening to them because they're black. Okay? We saw that. That was orchestrated. Okay? That was planned. How they harass these people. And black people, this is what they do. When black people make an effort to stand up for their rights, more than likely, all this young lady probably did was question the B12. Based on their appearance and based on their black, they know that these people are easily target for the corruption that goes on in the family court. Okay? He says he has an attorney. If he has an attorney, whatever authority that dictated that event that we just saw, more than likely it's the judge. Why didn't they just contact the attorney and do things legally and efficiently? Why rip that girl's baby from her? And this is what's most upsetting. You see her hurting and crying. And what I want to highlight is how calm and okay that black man is. That's a man right there. How he is being patient and he is going along with the okie doke not to cause himself or his wife any other grief by reacting from emotion. He's calm, cool, and collected. And they took that girl's baby from her. And black people, they took her baby from her because she's black. And if you're a black person and you're watching this, this is our duty, is to free ourselves from bondage. If you're watching this and this happened to you and you're a black person, you're supposed to feel some kind of way about this because this shouldn't happen to us. This goes on every single day because we're black and we have not created some kind of defense to make this stop. And that's the purpose of Reignite Sandy Speaks. I am very serious about making this stop. I am documenting this. And so I want to talk about the judge. The judge in this case, her name is Judge Kathy Stein. And she has a history of abuse of judicial discretion. She was sanctioned by the Commission on Judicial Review for wrongly, she did something in a family court case with a white woman. When white people complain, they get justice. When black people complain, all they get is more retaliation. The judge's name is Judge Kathy Stein. I have a blog post about her. I'm going to link it below. And it talks about injustices in the judicial system. When you complain about judicial officer, if it's a white person, they get justice. But black people do not get justice. This is Reignite Sandy Speaks. The purpose of this theory is to document the injustices that goes on every day to black people. And it is my goal, my purpose to make it stop. Okay? You see them talking about CPS? In order for them to do all that they have to do, they've done, it has to be a court order. They can't just take your baby. Maybe temporarily, but within probably, I don't know the specifics, but because I was married to someone that's involved in this, and because I have been involved in a family court case, usually, probably, if they took the child, there was going to be a court date within a week. They won't take your child and maybe make it weeks before you see a judge. This, at the bottom line, a judge ruled and agreed to this. And I need black people, I cannot stress this, I need you to pay attention. And I need you to assist me in this. Tyron And Saisha, they're not going to name the judge. They're not going to name the judge because the judge is the person responsible for their destiny. See, this is happening to me because I love black people, and I wasn't afraid to call out these racist judges who maligned me. And this is the issue. These judges have way too much power. There's too much corruption going on in the family court. And we are not even focused on the guilty party. The person responsible, we want to say, is the Family Child Protective Services. It's an agency. This is corruption. And everyone is a party to this. I have discussed it in my own story, Judge Sarah Heidel's The Racist, how different departments were a party to maligning me. Them sitting there waiting for that girl, taking her baby, demonstrates that this is corruption. This is not about protecting child protective services. This whole situation is supposed to be about protecting the child. And how they get away with it? Because it's family court. So everything is closed. Just like with the case of Britney Spears. You guys, I don't know if I talked about Britney Spears to him before, but the Los Angeles family court has raped that girl in plain sight. In plain sight. I need us to direct our attention to the family court in America. I see my mind wants to go to other places because, like I said earlier on in this video, how many people, what percentage of the country is affected by the family court? If this happens, if this just having your baby taken from you, what other instances is happening to little black boys and little black girls at the hands of the family court of the judge? I'm going to tell you, because we're not hearing about this. They keep talking about Child Protective Services. Child Protective Services can't do all that they've done without a court order. And we all know that this girl is fit, that she's not a danger to her child. This is about being black in America. And they're legally kidnapping black babies. And all these different entities are being fed. They have jobs. And it's an industry. And I'll link another video below that I saw, the day in the life of a social worker. In the video, in the beginning, I saw the beginning and I cut it off. But in the beginning, it's a white woman who's a drug addict, who has her children. She has all her children, she's a drug addict. But they take this woman's baby from her. It's being black in America. Black people, it's time for it to stop. I'm going to link a link below to the judge. Her name is Judge Kathy Stein. It talks about Judge Kathy Stein. Also, in this case, there is a nurse. So in the same case of Saisha Mercado and Armand and the baby girl, a doctor, her name is Dr. Sally Smith, has a history of prematurely deeming families or environment abusive. And so, you guys, I'm showing you this. I'm showing you what they do to black people in the family court. And the family court is so detrimental to so many people. So the same people that are dictating what happens when a child is taken from in protective services is when a child might have issues at school, or a child might get caught shoplifting. These are the same people who are responsible for their destiny. And what we know is they hate black people. How do you strip a baby from a woman like that so easily? This woman is not, we all know she's not a detriment to her baby. This is the WSCC in America, another way that they prey and capitalize off the backs of black people. I'm going to put a link below to the doctor. Her name is Dr. Sally Smith, and you guys research it. Also, what I think I'm going to edit in here is I'm going to edit The attorneys were interviewed. I saw on another channel. I think I'm going to edit that part in there because the point that I want to establish, that legally they have no basis for keeping this girl's baby. That now what's happening now is retribution, is retaliation, because we know about it. And let me tell you guys, because it's family court, it's going to be very little that we can do or can be done after it's done. They've taken that girl's baby for months. You can't give her time back with her baby. Black people, I need you to pull up. I have a GoFundMe below. I need help in creating change. Please don't think that this is just talk. I have a long-term goal. I know this is not going to be easy, and I know it's going to take a long time, but I need help. And if you're a Black person, yes, our heart goes out because they took her baby. But they took her baby and they did everything they did to her because she's Black. And I don't know how else to communicate to you. If you're a Black person, you need to care. You need to make an effort. I don't say don't consume yourself with this. Don't make the end all be all. But we need some kind of effort from you to say you care about being Black in America and you want to be liberated and you want this to stop happening to us as a group. Okay, I'm going to edit in something because what I want to establish that there's very little legal basis for this. I saw somewhere, I saw her lawyers talk on another channel, and I want to edit in briefly how he established that this is wrong. They took this girl's baby, you guys. Please don't look the other way and think that it's okay, because how we're going to make it stop? We have to do it collaboratively, together. I have a plan. If you have any questions about my plan, if you don't go with my plan, leave a comment. Let's talk about it. Because I know I can't do this alone. I'm not here to sensationalize the pain of Black people. I'm here because I don't want any woman going through what I went through. I don't want other Black children to go before these racist judges and have them alter their lives. When we talk about the poverty, the oppression, the depression, the mental anguish that we're experiencing because America is racist. America is racist to Black people. There is a WSCC, and it is against us. And it's time that we create or establish some type of mechanism or defense against what's happening to us every day. I have a plan and I need help. Okay, so Reignite Sandy Speaks is here to document occurrences. If you know anything about Dr. Sally Smith, if you know anything about this judge, Judge Kathy Stein, please leave a comment or email me at this email here. This channel is to document all the occurrences, and my purpose is to eventually use this documentation to create legislation. We need protection, you guys. I gotta pull up.
Attorney McBurrows, I used to be I didn't practice family law, I didn't practice CPS cases or any of that, but I was a CASA volunteer. I'm not sure if y'all are familiar with CASA, but it was a court-appointed special advocate, and what we did was we were volunteers. It was separate apart from CPS, but what we would do is gather information and then make recommendations to the judge to help him or her decide on what's best for each child. Do y'all have something similar in Florida?
Well, that's kind of what the guardian ad litem essentially is. The guardian ad litem is intended by statute to be a representative for the child that's ultimately going to make recommendations to the court. In this case, I believe the guardian ad litem has failed to do her job, Rhonda Edwards, to be specific. She's been biased totally against this family. The family the intent of the legislator is to have a team building approach, a non-adversarial approach to gathering information and doing this and conducting its investigations. Everything but non-adversarial has happened here. Every time these parents question, what type of medical procedures are going to be put in place, every time these parents question the medical diet or nutritional value that Dr. Sally Smith or some other practitioner recommends, they see it as the parents not cooperating. And they see it as the parents not cooperating because there's a lack of cultural diversity. They don't recognize their religious beliefs. They don't recognize their vegan lifestyle. They don't recognize, their ability to, ultimately determine what's in the best interest of their children. And they see that ultimately as, some type of obstinance to the system when they're only trying to be informed parents. So that's really the nutshell of it, Yoda.
So a follow-up, if they could release their baby girl back home, they obviously think that means that the home is safe for a newborn to go back to. Could that same, whatever steps you guys took to get their daughter back home, could that not be done again in order to get their son? Because I can't understand why one would be safe and not for the other.
I think it makes no sense. I think there is no way to understand it. It's just not understandable. It's not comprehensible because it's a lie. I mean, it's a theory postulated by people who want to keep AmenRA, who want to keep control of his family, and so that system realizes that if they return AmenRA home, that then this family is back whole, and and as Ty said, that's what they want to stop. They want to stop this family from being whole. And so legally, it doesn't make sense. Logically, it doesn't make sense. It's how can a 23, and it matters that we break this down, because if we look at the original charge here, it was failure to thrive and also medical neglect. And so if you think about it logically, everyone knows that a 23-day-old baby is totally dependent upon his mother and father. Whereas an 18-month-old baby, like AmenRA here, who's older than that, can say, yes, can say no, you know what I mean? Can say terms, can say food, can make a request. Whereas obviously a set can't do that. And so if the home was going to be unsafe for anybody, you would think it would be unsafe for a set, but you would never imagine it would be unsafe for the older baby. It's just illogical. And so if you were going to return anybody, you would return the older child, not the younger one, right? But we see that they didn't do that. They returned a set. And so to answer your question directly, we are taking steps. We are taking the steps necessary to bring AmenRA home. Unfortunately, his case is a little bit more seasoned. His case has been around a little bit more, and so we were able to stop the asset train from leaving the station and get her back home, essentially. And so, because of the age of AmenRA's case, we can't necessarily stop that train from leaving the station. But our goal is nonetheless to derail the train that wants to keep this family broken apart.
Okay, I edited that in on purpose. That was footage from BNC News. I think it's called Making the Case. It's a black media here on YouTube. And specific things I want to point out about that. When she said she was a CASA, I put that in there specifically because she said she was a volunteer and that the court would charge them with gathering information and making recommendations. She said as a volunteer. And so that concerns me and makes opportunity for the abuse and neglect of black people. Because what the premise that I want to make here is that black people are not treated equally in the U.S. and in so many different instances and cases. We are treated less than that of our white counterparts. And the family court in the U.S. is guilty of abusing black people. The attorney made a case for why it wasn't legally sound, for why they're keeping AmenRA. He also said that he stated that AmenRA's case was more seasoned, and what he's trying to say is that AmenRA has been in the system longer, so they're feeding on him. Whatever system they've got in place as far as the doctors and the foster care, this is a system that people, they are living off of unfortunate people. Even in my own case, I want to point this out to you. This judge here, this is Judge Lawrence Schrift. This is the assistant family court judge in Los Angeles. This judge is the judge who was essentially responsible for maligning me. Okay, he did the worst. Okay, he is the assistant head judge of the family court. This judge is being honored by an agency, okay? A legal agency, an agency that supposedly a volunteer agency that helps people in the family law. He's being honored, which is a conflict of interest. You guys know my situation. The company my husband worked for is listed on the same company agency as the agency that is honoring this judge. Okay, so this judge is being honored as it's a Stand for Justice gala, okay? This judge, Judge Lawrence Riff, maligned me. If you're not familiar with my situation, go to I'm Married a White Guy. Now 3 racist judges are trying to annihilate me. Okay, I came across this because I'm still fighting my battle, trying to get justice, and inadvertently, because God is good, I came across this. He is being honored at a Stand for Justice gala. And the agency that my husband worked for, many foster care agencies are listed on this website, on these people, on this company's website. So what I'm trying to say to you guys, they're all affiliated. It's a lot of things that go on that's inappropriate, and there's a conflict of interest. Why is he being honored? What did he do? Did he place children in the foster care system? Why is he being honored? He's a judge. People go before him. Okay, and I'm trying to demonstrate to you guys, this is one of the many facets of America's society that Black people are being harmed. Our lives are being turned upside down. And we need a remedy. You know, you guys, this is Reignite Sandy Speaks. And I am highlighting this because I'm demonstrating to you. By God's grace, we know about this girl. And probably the only reason why we know about Saisha is because she was an American Idol contestant. How many other times is this happening to other Black people? Again, I've said this to you many, many times, you guys. Please share your stories with me. Please leave a comment. Message me. I believe my email is listed on the About Us page. Contact me on Instagram. This Reignite Sandy Speaks. The goal is to document the abuse, the violation of Black people's civil rights in America. And I want to show it on every aspect of American life, how we are being violated by the WSCC. And so also, real quickly, you guys, I am going to edit this video in. Please take time and watch the whole video. It's about 8-9 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. And it's about a whistleblower. And I think it's important that you guys take a look at this video. So, to America, and I want to say this to you because what I think happens because, you know, I know white people. And a white person watching this is going to say, that happened to my cousin. This happened to a family member. White people, I know this is happening to you. This is a corrupt society. We as Americans have let too many things go wrong. Lies, deception is going on in America. And I want justice for Black people. And to non-Black people, you should also want a reset of American culture. It's supposed to be a democracy, and all the things that go on, all the corruption that goes on. We as a people have to make it stop. We have to highlight it and make it a priority that all these injustices that go on, children being taken from their mothers. Can you guys imagine this? Can you imagine that this woman took her child to the doctor and she's worried? You're a mom. She's a mom. She's noticing things. All they had to do was coach her. She's a vegan, young mom, pregnant, breastfeeding What do you go and you take a baby? Where's the compassion? Dr. What is it? Shirley Smith? What's her name? Dr. Shirley Smith? What's her name again? Sally Smith? Dr. Sally Smith. Why don't you sit down and consult the mom and put her on a plan? Tell her what to do to help her baby thrive. You take her baby from her as if she's neglectful? Purposely? And what the main thing that's upsetting to me is that we see that these are conscientious parents. If this is happening to her, black people, what's happening to other black people? Black people, I need y'all to pull up, okay? Watch this video. Please watch it in its entirety. Please share this video. Please help me in my journey, in my efforts. And I know I'm a little convoluted, you guys. I don't know if you know. If you're first time watching it, I have a concussion. I'm suffering from post-concussion syndrome, so I'm forgetful, and I do have a tendency to ramble. But I have good intentions, and honestly, I'm really excited about what I want to do. I see it being in the long run because I need so many different. I need resources to get this done. This is like ground zero where we are documenting it. We're establishing that we need change in America, that black people need protection under the law. That is my purpose. Please go ahead and watch this video. Please stay and watch. I want you guys to watch this entire video because it's establishing that the family court, that it is a business and people are profiting and they're stealing little black babies. Okay? Hey, you guys, I have to edit this clip in. I wasn't able to upload the video because I had a clip from Nancy Shaefer. She's a whistleblower who blew the whistle on Child Protective Services and the racket of kidnapping babies for a profit. This is really very disheartening for me because, bro, when you research stuff and you find things out and things are hidden, this senator's name is Nancy Shaefer, and she blew the whistle on the Child Protective Services. You guys, she was murdered in her home. Her husband and she were murdered in their home, and they ruled it a murder-suicide. This is really very hard for me because God knows what the hell is happening. They malign me for no other reason but that I'm black, the Family Court of Los Angeles. The kidnapping babies is a business. And I wasn't able to edit it into this video. I might be able to upload the video on Instagram in its entirety, but what I'll do is I'll link the video below. You guys, after you watch this video, please watch the clip below of Nancy Shaefer. She is explaining the business of kidnapping babies from the Child Protective Services. And I just went to research more about her. When I edited her into my video, I didn't know someone had murdered her. I don't know what I was doing. I was like, you guys, I would sit on the internet and just research stuff. Okay, that's just how I've always been that way. I'm very inquisitive and wanting to get more information. And this hurts my heart so bad. She was murdered. She was murdered because she blew the whistle on Child Protective Services. And America, y'all need to get involved. If you're looking at me like, black lady, you just, complaining, unhappy. No, I have purpose. I have purpose. I've always had purpose my entire life. Okay? And my goal is to free black people from bondage. But this is really disturbing because I know this is not only happening to black kids. It's probably happening more to black kids. Like I said, always. It's always, when it's an issue, it's always disproportionate to black people. But Child Protective Services is still kidnapping babies at a profit, and I know the judges are a party to it. I know the judges are a party to it. You guys have to please, please, please watch the video below of Nancy Shaefer. It's like a 12-minute video. Please watch it because she tells exactly what it is. And what's scary, I never heard of Nancy Shaefer. I don't know if you have. Why don't we know about this woman who blew the whistle on Child Protective Services and mysteriously her and her husband died and they ruled it a murder-suicide? This lady was like in her 70s. Why? Please. Please. And this is what happens in America. Things happen, time passes, we forget about it. America, we need a reset. Black people, we need liberation. But America, we need a reset. And to the white guy, bro, when I'm sitting here looking at this judge, Sarah Heidel, I couldn't figure out. I'm like, why is this lady being mean to me? Racist Judge Sarah Heidel. In my heart, I keep looking at her and thinking, why is this lady being mean to me? To the white guy, everything happens in divine order. Everything happens. You left your baby in the ocean for sharks. You left your baby in the ocean with sharks. And it's so crazy how we were married for so long and we're so different. Not only would I die for my kids, what you know, and these racist judges go and find out, I'll die for other people's kids. That's who you marry. They don't know that, but they're going to find out, aren't they? They're going to find out. The whistleblower. And whistleblowers are few and far between. You know, I want to speak to you even as an individual. If you work for a company, if you work in certain departments, when you point out things that are wrong, that are ethically wrong or immoral, we know. Just don't make trouble. Don't make waves. You know, if you want your job, you don't make this difficult. So many times people go along to get along. And the family court in America is corrupt. We know that. She establishes why. In America, it's about dollars and cents. And all so many of us care about is money. And it's really very unfortunate that in a country as great as America, with all the benefits and the opportunity, there's so much corruption. And we know, so I'm saying, there's corruption in the family court. And non-black people, I know what happens to you too. But when things happen to black people, it's always disproportionate. Because we've never been given we've never been on an equal plane. We've never been at we start at the bottom, always the bottom rung. It's so many systematic racial issues attributed to being black in America. And this sounds like pretty dire, but I'm kind of optimistic. And I know you guys, when I think about all that I have to do, when I talk to y'all be getting on my nerves. I'm not gonna lie. Some of y'all be like, oh, that ain't gonna work. Oh, how you gonna do that? Oh, this is gonna happen. Y'all be getting my nerves being negative. I ain't gonna lie. Okay? Sometimes I lay in that bed and I be like, oh God, how am I gonna do this? But my conscious mind knows that's the sadness, the depression, the overwhelming trauma of being black in America that's making me think that this is going to be hard. Well, it's going to be hard, you know? But I know, just based on everything that's happening, it's time for this to stop. And it's time that we establish legislation that protects black people. I'm really overwhelmed by the case of this young lady, Saisha. I am being traumatized by the family court. The only thing worse they could have done to me is take my children from me. The only thing worse they could have done is take my babies from me. They set up and established to take this girl's baby from her brand new baby, for no reason. They have an attorney. They could have established guidelines and rules for her going home with her baby. Maybe weekly having people come and check. They had no reason to take this girl's baby. And this is never going to end. The pandemic of being black in America. If you could know anything about Dr. Sally Smith, if you have any negative experience with Judge Lawrence Riff, if you know of any cases that appear to be that of a racially unbiased situation, please comment, please share. I've already made this too long. I kind of want to go into my goals and objectives again, but I know that I've made this video too long, so I'm going to stop. But thank you for joining me. I'm the 20th Key, and this is Reignite Sandy Speaks.
Skeletons, they killing us for walking, killing us for jogging, kill us in our homes and fabricating and hiding. Where we had Sandra Bland's and Trayvon Martin's. If when you kill us, your family was a target. If your children was orphans, will you have compassion the next time you approach us? Yeah, we fed up, this is built up. Your city up in smoke, homeboy, we had enough. And I ain't enticing riots of violence, heighten the climate. I'm saying you smack me, I'm punching you in your iris. Retaliation is prescribed in both Bible and Quran. In the matters of the slang, see an eye for an eye, especially if the Justice Department do not comply.